So, iRacing is an expensive hobby. I think we are all quite aware of this by now. So my goal of this video is to take that into consideration and give you 6 tracks by the end of it that I think you need to own on the platform. And I give you 6 because if you aren't aware, if you go to store on the drop-down panel, special offers, I think that's where it is anyway, you'll see a couple of different things that let you know about. So they show you that you recruit a friend, you get 10 credits to use in game, things like that. But the main one is multiple purchases. There's bundle offers. So if you buy 3 tracks in the one purchase, you get 10% off that whole purchase. If you buy 6, the most value option, then you get 15% off everything. And if you have all the content or more like 40 pieces, you get 20% off forever or something like that. So 6 is the way you should go about it. Unless you're buying 1 track every week for a specific series, what I recommend is buying 6 at a time. You might have to save a little bit more and then bang, buy 6. Save a little bit more, bang, buy 6. It's a little bit more spread out, but in the long term, you'll save a little bit more money. So let's jump into it. Now, the way I'm going to pick these tracks is from 2 different ways, right? First of all is having the historic ones, and we'll focus mostly on road, but we're also going to cover NASCAR and dirt circuit or dirt speedway, things like that. Those ones, a lot of these will cross over. Dirt speedway doesn't have too many options. Dirt road, I've done a little bit of, and that's how I started. Although it's not a very, very volumized like field until they put a bit more focus on it. So whatever tracks come up, just buy whatever you feel like with dirt road, but I'll help you with the other 3 right now. Okay, so there's a couple of iconic tracks when it comes to iRacing. The first one I've got written down here, Bathurst or Mount Panorama. Biased, I know, because I am Australian and it is our most famous track. So Bathurst comes up for a few different categories, which makes it a really strong opportunity to jump on, because not only do you get a very unique track that's very historic, but also is used a lot of in a lot of different categories. So that's the best case scenario. A few other ones such as Spa, and I have Nordschleifer. I don't know if I might not give you Nordschleifer for this video though, on the one thing that a lot of the time it's such a big track that they'll say Nürburgring combined, okay, comes up as a series event or a race event for the week in a series. You can't enter it though unless you own both Nürburgring and Nürburgring Nordschleifer. So you need 2 tracks a lot of the time, not all the time. Sometimes you can just race on Nordschleifer, and but you got to keep that in mind that you might have to own both. So for the historics, let's say we put down Spa, Bathurst, and then we have our Nordschleifer. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's just such an iconic track. It doesn't come up all the time though, so that is one that you can trade out. But the categories that I do, like the Porsche iRacing Cup, I think has the best tracks that it visits of any of the series. So I highly recommend trying that out. I'm going to do another video on the cars you need to own in iRacing too. So if you do want to see that, make sure that you hit the subscribe button, because it will come up in the future and you'll be able to see that on your feed. So we have Spa, Bathurst, Nordschleifer. Okay, that leaves 3 different options. Now, if you have those tracks already, then you can also use this kind of system in order to purchase those new ones that we're looking towards. But we need to accommodate here what you will participate in on the game. So it's easy for me to focus right on road, but a lot of us don't only do that. I know a lot of the US players especially will do NASCAR, and I think everyone likes to tinker with NASCAR. So what hits both of these things at the same time here is Daytona, Charlotte, and the Indianapolis track. Indianapolis doesn't come to a whole lot, but the reason I say Daytona specifically here, and I will put it on the top 6 list, is because the special event goes to Bathurst and Daytona. So that's a 24-hour event, or Bathurst, I think they do 12 hours. That comes up throughout the year and you can enter it in different splits, massive events, and you'll be able to do not only the massive events, but also NASCAR with the same purchase, and also the Daytona road circuit. So you're getting so many different uses that if you don't have it as part of your track list, then I think you really should with the Daytona one. Charlotte is another one because the Porsche iRacing Cup can go to the road circuit, and it can also tick off that NASCAR event that you can enter as well with your stock car, or if you own a NASCAR Xfinity car or something like that, I think they visit there. So let's put down Daytona. That's going to make option 4 out of 6. I think it's a good option to have. Now, Le Mans is on here, but the only time I've seen Le Mans come up, I think is, I know the 24 Hours event has Le Mans on there. Actually right now, but it's a B class race, so not many people can go there, but that could be another option for you, certainly as well. And then it comes down to one of the circuits that isn't super historic, maybe. I mean, they all have the history with it, but now it's about getting the most value out of your current thing. So what you want to do is go to current series, and you want to have a look on here about what comes up a lot for your things. Let's go to C class for sure. And let's say that you race the IMSA, one of the most popularized categories that is on Iracing server. You see I own a lot of the tracks here, but we see a lot that, for instance, Road Atlanta. Road Atlanta comes up not only in the IMSA series, but also comes up in the IMSA series. I believe there it is. It also comes up, SimuCube probably won't go there. Well, they do go there. The F3s go there. You can see some of these tracks are used throughout so many different series. Road America, so this is the one that I really like, and Road Atlanta, they don't actually visit. I think they do though, every now and then. Supercars also visits there, so you kind of want to cross-reference and see what you're going to get the most value out of with that purchase. So for me, one of those was Catalunya. Catalunya, the Supercars go to, Porsche goes to, and it was a new track, fresh track, one that I kind of liked the shape of, and I wanted to add that to my list. So I actually own Catalunya, but let's say that you own some of these tracks, and so I'll show you what I would purchase given on the current scenario. So this is my favorite series right now. I know I'm going to do the whole thing next season, and in order to play iRacing in the most value kind of setting, you want to do 8 out of the 12 races. You have to finish at least 50% of the laps compared to the lead driver. So if the whole field crashes out, the lead guy only did 4 laps, you only had to do 2, and it goes on from there. So as long as you finish, as long as you drove half the race, you're normally pretty chill. And you need to do 8 out of the 12. So you can see I own this season anyway. They do change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I would have needed to buy 2 more tracks in order to finish this whole season, which I've done with the IMSA. Actually, if I buy this track this week, Belle Isle, then you'll get, if it's a D or C class race, you get 4 credits in-game to spend at the end of the season. It's capped at 10. So you get 4 for every full season, which means 8 tracks that you do in D or C class. And B and A, you actually get 7 if you do the whole thing. Mostly because they're longer tracks, they're harder to get into to get your license up, and they want that incentive to do the harder content. So you actually get 7 credits. It's capped at 10. So good idea is to pick 2 of the shorter series. So maybe Porsche iRacing Cup, and if you own the Formula car, you're going to get your 8 credits per season. There's 4 seasons every year, 12 weeks each. And then cross-reference which one goes to the both of them. Okay, so let's say we wanted to do both of these, F3 and the iRacing Cup. We can see that I don't have Zandvoort, Road Atlanta, Phillip Island, or Monza. Scroll down here. We can see that Zolder comes up, cool track. Sebring's a really good option, comes up a lot and a lot of different things. So I'd highly recommend that you get Sebring as well. And we might even put it on here because I just know that it comes up a lot, and you can have a look yourself. That'll be the 5th option. And Zandvoort comes up on here. We also have Donington, Brands Hatch, Belle Isle, and Zolder. So Belle Isle comes up in here. Did the F3 come to here? No, it didn't. So Zandvoort comes up in both of these and a few other ones. So to fill that last gap, Zandvoort would be the one that I purchased. Now this will kind of be altered slightly other than the historic tracks on what you want to do. So no Formula car is going to go to Bathurst. So if all you like is Formula cars, you only want to do F3, skip Barber, then you're not going to buy Bathurst. So you tweak it a little bit, but for my list, what I recommend today for you to get, if you're brand new to the game and have no idea, you're going to keep it in the lower categories. So ones that go to D class, F3 currently does until they get replaced with the F2000s coming. But you definitely want to get Spa, Bathurst, the Nordschleife, Daytona, Zandvoort, and or Sebring or Nürburgring. Okay, that's the option I'll give you, because then you can do any event, such as down here, you can see the Porsche Iracing Cup. It went to Nürburgring combined. So you have to own not only Nürburgring, but also Nordschleife. Such an iconic track, and that's your 6 options. Now, you've probably been scratching your head the whole time, if you're still sticking around, on, you said you were gonna cover NASCAR and Speedway as well. So let's do that. Let's say we're looking at the Speedway. Speedway's a bit easy because there's not that many events. 360 is the most dominated one to enter. You see there's 12 tracks, and they don't have that many Speedway tracks. If I was to guess, I'd say they only have 15. So as long as you buy the big hitters, the ones that are really popular, like, you know that every time a season restarts, Knoxville's going to be on there, and Eldora is probably going to be on there. So you want to get the big ones. Definitely you want to get Knoxville. I would recommend. You definitely want to get Eldora. There's 2. Lernerville's a brand new track that seems to be getting a lot of popularity. So there's 3. Lanny you already own. And Volusia was one that I bought pretty early on, but Charlotte is probably a more better one there. So pretty much you can pick any of these and you're gonna be safe. Ones like the Chili Bowl though is where the wingless will go to a lot. I don't know if I see it very often under the 360 list or at all. I haven't done it for a while. So sprint car, you're pretty chill. Now NASCAR, I don't do a whole lot of, so I'm not super knowledgeable with it. We scroll back down to the Gander trucks fixed category. They cross over a lot. You want to hit the big hitters here. So you've got, you know that Talledega is always going to be in there. There is so many NASCAR tracks, and there's a nice progression system with NASCAR. So if you've got Gander trucks, well then you'll probably go into Xfinity Series or NASCAR next, and they cross over a lot there. So just picking tracks that cross over. Daytona is huge, and you should have already bought it with your road set, because then you've also got NASCAR content. So trying to get the most value for your dollar. And Charlotte also comes up as well. You get another road track with that. Talledega. Bristol's a big, nice short one, but a lot of carnage on that normally. So pick your favorites there. It's just whatever ones that you might live to and you find the most intriguing. Or if you really have no idea which ones to pick, you've got like 2 different options. They cross over a lot and you don't know anything about them. You can YouTube the actual content to see what it looks like. Or if you just click on Kansas Speedway, have a look at the track itself. Well, generally it would show you a shape of the track and a picture for the background to look at, but it didn't. So let's cover this. Dirt Speedway, pick the big hitters, and the NASCAR events the same, and you'll slowly build up. If you buy 6 at a time, value-orientated purchasing, you'll build up your track list, and eventually you'll have most of the tracks you need for series, and there'll be a point where you just race the series. You might buy a single track here and there, but you'll slowly build up more and more credits. And any new purchase or any new track that they add in, any new content that they add in, you will have credit on your file where you can just keep buying the new tracks, and it's all smooth sailing. So iRacing is really rough to begin with, but once you have your kind of catalog of cars and tracks, then it's actually smooth sailing, and you just pay your membership, which if you wait for Black Friday is cheap anyway. I think it's always 25% off if you buy a year or 2 at a time. So right before Christmas, nice little purchase for yourself, and that will wrap it up. So if there's any questions below or you want to tell me off because you think there's better tracks that I should have spent my money on or recommended, then feel free to do so. If this video gave you any value at all, I'd appreciate a like, and you can always subscribe for more iRacing and sim racing and just car content in total. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. I will see you next time.